Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Fifth Quarter Podcast. I'm your host, Marcus Jones, the Bluff City Cowboy, coming to you live from Memphis, Tennessee. And we are here with a much-awaited and anticipated Victory Wednesday. I had a great game this past Monday night to get us off of our short slide of losses. A lot of good stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff to look towards this week with the Philadelphia Eagles. So because this is a rivalry week, we always have the co-owner and co-founder of DC4L, Miss Amanda Foster, joining us. Thank you for joining.
Howdy, howdy. Haven't been here in a while. Excited to be here.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in a while either, honestly. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I do work for the government, so we were shut down for 43 days. So, couple
Back
of weeks.
to work he is.
Yeah.
Back to work.
Couple of Wednesdays, I was trying to hustle to keep the bills paid. And last week, word dropped about 15 minutes before I was about to go live. And we had an emergency meeting, so I couldn't go live last week. But glad to be back. Glad to talk some Cowboys football with you guys. It's been about 3 weeks, so I hope you guys are ready. Come with the questions, the comments, all your feedback about last night's game and this upcoming week against the Eagles. But before we get started, want you guys who are watching from YouTube, if you get a chance, go over to DC4L on Facebook, find the group. A lot of great dialogue, a lot of great content. Keeps you up to date on all things Dallas Cowboys. It's a safe space for Cowboys fans to talk and interact. We have a very large admin team, and everybody monitors the group almost by the minute by minute. So if you want to come on, you want to learn something new, you want to talk football, or you just want to air your grievances in a safe space without getting too vulgar or having any negativity towards you, come on over to the DC4L Facebook group. We'd love to have you.
Yes, we would.
So I see the Facebook group is going pretty quick. So thank you guys for joining us. Everybody who's watching, get in the comments. Let me know where you guys are watching from, how long you've been a Cowboys fan. Give us your thoughts about Monday night's game. I see we got Jeff joining us first in the comments.
What's
Always
up, Jeff?
appreciate you tuning in. For those of you on Facebook, if you like, you can also follow Jeff's lead and go over to YouTube. Find DC4L Facebook group on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And you can also find me at Bluff City Cowboys on YouTube as well. And for those of you watching on X, either option is great. I would love to get you guys comments as we go through this week's show. I see we got a Bears fan joining us. He's been a regular for a while, so definitely appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, we are definitely in a must-win situation. And we have, luckily, it looks like we finally have the roster to be able to handle that pressure. All right, those views are still going up. Before we get started, let's hit that like button. Let's get those likes to match those views. Donald Bellew, I hope I pronounced that correctly. R.I.P. Marshawn Nealon. Actually, I was going to go live that Thursday of that week, but then that happened and I didn't go live as well. But definitely condolences to him and his family.
I must say we haven't been live since that happened. That's
yeah.
You know, and I always tell people, if you ever need to talk to somebody, you can reach out to anyone on the admin team at DC4L. I'm telling you that we might not know you personally, but if you need somebody and you need to talk, you can message one of us and we will talk to you. So
absolutely. We got our regulars joining us. Jack Meeker, thank you for tuning in. Definitely appreciate you joining us. Zach Warren looks like a new name. So Zach, thank you for joining. Feel free to get in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and start off with a game recap of last week's game against the Oakland Raiders, the Las Vegas Raiders on Monday Night Football.
Game recap.
All right, so Dallas Cowboys defeated the Las Vegas Raiders by a score of 33-16. Started off kind of slow with the with the punishment dished out to Lamb and Pickens. Had a quick 3 and out.
Can I just
go
Can I
ahead.
just say on that note, way to go, coach. I was angry about it, and you can ask Marcus. I had some words in the admin chat, but let me tell you something. The more I thought about it and the more I think about it now, way to go, coach. No one is above reproach, right? No one is above getting punished. And I think that really set a standard. And I'm way to go, coach. We ain't seen that in a long time.
Exactly.
I mean, I like it. So he's had him running gassers at camp, and now he's got him punished and saying, you're sitting out the first series.
Right.
Sign me up.
And the good thing about that could go either way. That can go one or two ways. They can either sulk and be upset, or they can go out there and step it up. And it looks like those guys went out there and balled out after being sat down.
Yeah.
So that's a very good sign in terms of the leadership of their team and the respect they have for Coach Shoddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of positives to talk about in this game. We'll start on the offensive side of the ball first. I know as fans, we like to get caught up on our narratives of certain players. This week, we got to give Tyler Guyton his respect. He had a really good game.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear his name, I think of the flop, and the Oscar goes to.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That was great.
But yeah, he had a really good game. He played so well that Max Crosby actually played about 80% of the game against Terrence Steele. Like they saw they wasn't getting anything on their side, and they left it alone. So shouts out to Tyler Guyton for really showing up. Hopefully, this can help build some consistency from him. Running game, as always, just punishing, physical. We'll talk about this in the offseason, but we got quite a few trades that we need to do to get rid of some players.
Tolbert.
One is Tolbert, absolutely, because Jack Meeker said it. Where's his comment?
That Flournoy's it.
Flournoy, yeah.
That's
that was a very it looked simple, but the body control, the quick jab step, the good hands to catch the ball away from his body, that is a prime NFL player type catch that he made in a big time situation.
And they didn't, and you notice that's who they put there. That's where their trust lies. I don't know if I've been this confident looking all around at our offense from the line, the trenches to the QB, to the running back, to the running game. And Malik Davis, I'm sorry, there's your two.
Yeah.
Sorry, Blue. Bye. But you're right. We got a lot of trades that need to be taken care of because we don't need them. It's not necessarily that they're terrible. It's just they're not needed.
Yeah. So definitely, and Mingo, who we used the 4th round pick for, has been inactive every week because we don't have space for him.
Yep, healthy and inactive.
Yeah, so we definitely got to make a move there. Another move that needs to be made is Schoonmaker. That's Brevin Span 4 spot, and Tyler Lepke came up big.
I mean, Hunter.
I keep saying Tyler. I keep thinking of Tyler.
It's okay.
Tyler Clutch.
And we signed him, and we're starting to use him. We gave him that contract. Everyone was like, what? Well, now you see why Coach is using that fullback. It's very much like, what is it, Kyle Juice
Check
in San Francisco. Very similar. I'm really digging the way Coach is doing that a lot.
Yeah, big 3rd down run, 3 or 4 catches, keep the chains moving.
Touchdown, right? Yep. Didn't he get a touchdown?
No, he didn't get a touchdown.
No, I thought he had a rushing touchdown. That was last week, maybe, or the week before.
No. All the touchdowns were passing.
Okay, man, why did I think he got in with the run?
No, he had a couple of big runs though.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely got to make some moves there. But the offense in general was humming. I know people are going to say this the Raiders, but this is the same Raiders that last week almost beat Denver at home.
Yeah.
So the team has talent. And most of their talent is on the defensive side of the ball. So the fact that our offense can just keep moving the ball down the field like that is simply amazing. We'll talk about the player of the week. when we come back from the defense. Defensive side of the ball, a lot of new additions.
Wow.
Everybody played well. We'll start from the trenches and work our way back. Amanda, feel free to step in whenever you like. New defensive tackle addition, Quentin Williams. Um, Tone setter on the front of the line. Absolutely.
Just
got to get that on the
Jerry,
shirt.
Jerry valued the defensive tackle position, and that defense did a 180-degree turnaround.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I'm excited to see what it does this week because I'm of the opinion that I think it's going to be very good again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't block that guy one-on-one. They showed it Monday night. And with the talent that we have around him, somebody's going to get open. It's going to be Azaraku. It's going to be Clark or also whoever you put beside him.
And now Winfrey, maybe. You never know.
Possibly Winfrey, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we got to get Sam Williams off the field. But I'm going to keep it positive tonight. But that guy should not be getting the amount of snaps that he's getting. It's never good. He makes one splash play every 3 games, and then other than that is, what are you doing? But yeah, front 4. And they helped the linebacker core out because we didn't have to blitz linebackers much. And the linebackers were able to get back into their zones quicker because they didn't have to take that step up to play against the run. Now, a lot of that was because the Raiders just decided not to run the ball, but even with that, our front 4 really did their job, especially on 3rd down. Let's see. Jack Meeker asked the question, can Winfrey play in and shove Sam off a bridge? I actually think the plan is going to be to play Winfrey at end. I think when Winfrey comes back and when Solomon Thomas comes back, I think you're going to see a heavy rotation of those guys playing base end on early downs. And then when it gets to 3rd down, you pull Clark off the field and whoever's the hot guy, put him inside beside him. But yeah, this is really going to be, I don't want to get my hopes up for this year, but next year, this has the makings of something special.
You think next year, you said it in the chat, next year's the window.
Yeah. I've been saying that since the offseason.
And I'm not even throwing out, look, is long shot playoff. I mean, we're not out of it. Long shot playoff this year. And everyone's starting to really get some devastating injuries. If we beat the Eagles, all bets are off the table, right? I mean, so we need to win. Got to win this week. But next year looks really special. Everybody's under contract. We just need to sign George and Javonte and use every pick on the defense.
Yeah.
Every pick.
So I was playing around and looking at the playoff picture, and I know we got a Bears fan in here right now. If we can semi-run the table, our destiny is going to be in the hands of the NFC North, because over the next 7 games, they all play each other twice. So the Lions play the Bears and the Vikings, and they play the Bears twice. They play the Vikings, and they play, what's the last team in that division? Bears, Vikings,
Packers.
And then the Bears play everybody once, and they play the Lions twice. And then you've got the Packers. I believe the Packers still have to play everybody at least once. So they're and we're looking up at the Packers and the Bears right now. So because the Bears got that win over us, that one's going to be a little bit tricky for us to get in over them. But if the Packers slip up and it comes down to 10-6-1, 10-6-1, we have a really good shot at getting that tiebreaker over them, because right now they're the 6th seed.
Right.
So if they drop, and that's possible, wouldn't that be something if we go to the end of the year and we end up beating the Packers to make the playoffs?
That would be pretty quintessentially pretty Cowboys. I mean, if you want to talk about it,
Yeah.
what the team you traded your star to,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in the playoffs, and they're not. I mean, the storylines could, if it's scripted, it writes itself.
Yeah, we make the playoffs. Our draft pick gets better. Micah's first year there, they don't make the playoffs. I don't think they're making the playoffs anyway. I think they're gonna take a nosedive.
They are really hurting.
Yeah.
And I know Josh Jacobs went down too, and that's their offense.
Mm-hmm.
So trust me, I know, because he's my running back in fantasy football.
Love went down too. He came back, but he's playing pretty banged up. And I think, don't they play the Lions on Thanksgiving? It's either the Lions. They either play the Bears or the Packers on Thanksgiving. I can't remember which one. But I almost feel like it's the Packers. If it is, you could pretty much chalk them up for 2 losses in a row.
The Lions.
The Lions play the Packers or the Bears?
Yeah, Lions and Packers on Thanksgiving.
Okay, that's what I thought. So
it's the noon game.
Yeah, so if they're not healthy this week and then they got to turn around and go to Detroit, that's 2 quick L's right there. And Cowboys fans, we better start paying a little bit more attention to that Packers schedule going forward, because if they drop those 2 and we by chance beat the Eagles
and then the Chiefs,
even if we lose to the Chiefs, we can take an AFC loss. We cannot.
Ironically, I think the Chiefs. I think the dynasty has ended.
I agree.
I think they are on the slow slide down. You know, everybody gets their moment in time, and I hate to say it, but this is the Eagles' moment in time. You know, everybody has that moment in time. And I'm not even that impressed with the Eagles. They just seem to be lucky as can be, which is very similar to the way the Chiefs played for years. Very lucky. So
but if we can drop that Chiefs game, but if we can keep winning these NFC games, and the Packers lose this week and they lose to the Lions, they got to play the Lions again. They got to go to Chicago. When we get to week 16 and we have the Commanders and the Giants left, if the Packers aren't at least a game ahead of us, it's going to be real interesting coming down to those last 2 weeks for that 7th spot.
Man,
the Falcons just eliminated themselves.
Yep, I saw Penix went on IR, right?
Yeah,
had surgery,
and Drake London's dealing with some injuries too.
Man,
and I don't think we can catch Seattle, but the Sam Darnold's turning into a pumpkin in front of us. So you got to pay attention to that too. But I think the Packers are the team that's going to get us in the playoffs if we have a shot. All right, so we talked about the front 4. Talking about those linebackers, I've seen mixed reactions on Logan Wilson's first game. When I watched the All-22, I saw a lot of good stuff.
I did too. I'm about to say, I've seen a lot of people very frustrated because he was benched by the Bengals, but you know, the rumor is he was benched because he started running his mouth saying this is not acceptable. And when I say running his mouth, I mean he was questioning coaches, not being argumentative. He was questioning, you know, what they were doing, and he got benched. I thought he played very well for his first game here.
Yeah.
And with Overshone in that rotation, I thought the linebacker position overall was very good. I thought it was much improved from what it was.
I mean, he's not a blazer, but he looked quick enough. He was never out of position in pass coverage. I'll say that. Like, if there were some plays in weeks past where as soon as the quarterback snaps the ball, the linebacker's not in the spot, and you see that quick hitch or you see that quick out route, none of that was here this game. That was one of the reasons our pass rush was able to get there, because the quarterback had to hold the ball that extra half second because our linebackers were able to get into their zones much quicker. I did see a little bit of things to worry about in terms of the run game, but I think a lot of that could just come from not understanding the scheme well, because it's easier to pick up pass coverage because you just know you go 5 yards and you stay in a spot. But when you're playing the run and you have to find your gap, that can take a little bit more time to process. So I did see once or twice where the guard was able to kind of get on them, but the D-line played so well, the running back couldn't get to the second level. But outside of those 2 plays, 2 or maybe 3 plays, I would say, yeah, he looked really good.
Jack, I think we were all a little shocked.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second too, Jack. Overshown. I mean, he stayed healthy. He got to break a sweat. He got to make a tackle. That's all we can ask for week 1 after missing a year. Can't really gauge him until we see this next week's game. We'll talk about that. I got K9 look pretty good. And I said this before the season started. He is not a middle linebacker. He needs to play beside someone who can put him in position. And he's a better player when he doesn't have to think as much. I mean, he showed that. He got in position, made the big tip, got the interception. He wasn't out of position much in terms of the running game. Probably his best game of the year, to be honest. And then we go to the secondary. You talked about that. Same thing goes back to the defensive line. Both of our safeties played really well this game. Well, all 3 of them, because they mixed Marquise Bell in quite a bit. They ran a lot of 3 safety looks this week.
We did. And I want to say it's everyone was so shocked that the defense was so bad, and everyone just attributed it to Micah. And what it should have never been. You look, yes, Micah, he played a role, but the thing is, it's the pressure. It's not the player, it's the pressure.
Yeah.
When you don't have pressure, and we weren't getting pressure for weeks. There was literally no pressure on the QB, which that's what made our secondary look so terrible. So by having Quinnen Williams, Kenny Clark, Osa, we weren't blitzing. We were just getting pressure. Yeah. And Marcus and I talked about it a few weeks ago. You would see we weren't getting to the quarterback. We would get some pressure, but we weren't getting to the quarterback. That ended. This game Monday night we got to the QB, and that's why our secondary looked better. That's why it all starts in the trenches, which is something, you can put hot shots out on the corner, and you want a hot shot corner, don't get me wrong, but you've got to pay attention to the trenches. And that's why everyone always says Jerry never looks at it, but he finally has. And I think we're about to see this defense turn a real corner.
Yeah. And then just talking about the secondary, Deron Bland he played hurt the first 3 weeks.
Yeah.
There's no 2 ways about that. He's been slowly getting himself back in what I would consider his best form. Last week, he gave us some hints. This week, he really exploded.
He was there.
He was covering slots. He was covering deep. He was covering tight ends. He felt confident enough to play in position and poke at the ball. He's playing his best football right now.
Because he wasn't worried about anyone getting past his guy in the front. So, I hate to say it. I wish we could see somebody else with some pressure just to see. But I'm pretty sure he might have played his last game as a Cowboy. We'll see. Excuse me, Bland looked really good. And then Revel, can we talk?
I was saving the best for last. Go ahead, Amanda.
Look.
You got it. Go ahead.
I cannot wait for him to get acclimated to this team. I have never seen someone so fluid for such a big dude. Like, just absolute everything. He's fast. He's great. I'm so excited. It didn't look like some people come in, like a corner is a hard position to come in and play as an NFL player. And the game sometimes can be very, very, very hard to catch on to. It does not look too big for him. The position, the moment does not look too big for Siobhan Revel. We absolutely stole him. And the moment we learned who his doctor was that performed his surgery, everyone knew what was happening. And we absolutely stole him. I'm so excited. And that's the other reason the person on IR probably will never play another snap, because we don't need him. So.
Yeah. This has been the only critique people have had so far. That 34 on the DB does not look good.
Yeah.
That's a fullback number. But and then we gotta talk about Kalen Carson playing with a ton of confidence.
Seatbelt, yeah.
So that his game is fueled off confidence. So if he can keep his confidence up, he can really continue to grow in the scheme as well. And what this means for the defense, you get to move Bland around. You get to play Bland in the slot. You can match Bland up against tight ends now, like they did with Brock Bowers when he was going crazy in the first half. So
and he was shut down basically the second half. So
yeah. So you let these guys get out there and play and let the front four continue to gel. This can be really, really good.
And don't forget, we got a lot. I know this is off-season talk, but we got a linebacker joining our team next year.
Absolutely.
There ain't anybody. I would literally I think I'd bet my house almost on the fact that Quincy will be here. Quincy Williams will be a Cowboy. Jerry tried to get him, but they didn't want to do it. Then they go and bench him, and they got nothing. They could have got something for a guy they have nothing on.
Yeah.
This is last year. They were idiots for not including him in the trade package. But thank you. Yeah. Thank you for the 2-for-1.
Exactly. We could have thrown in Tolbert and gave us Williams back. But now they, like you said, they lose them for nothing next year. There's no way.
Exactly. I'll take it. I will take it because that's his. You know what I mean? That's just one of those things you look at and you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and because they benched him, his value is going to be low. So they probably won't even get a compensatory pick back for him.
Absolutely crazy to bench the guy too.
So we're gonna have if Overshown stays healthy, we're gonna have 2 young athletic linebackers on this team next year with a Logan Wilson who can man the middle and really be the field general. So, like I said, next year, a lot of positives for this defense.
I'm sorry, too. Did you see what Jerry said while we're talking about the team? Do you see what Jerry said? They asked him, they said, so is this basically the only year we're really going to get to see, George and CD with 3 DTs making over $60 million? He said, absolutely not. Jerry ain't dumb. Jerry knows that this is the year he's getting it all together. I think next year his big hurrah. I think you'll see Jerry actually really put some effort in. So,
yeah. This is going to be a lot of off-season talk. I do not see us signing him to a contract, but that franchise tag is absolutely coming.
Oh, that's what I see too. Yeah, I see the tag.
We just got to hope that he likes it here enough and Jerry can call him to the side and make him play under that tag for 1 year. After 2026, if he wants to go out and find some money somewhere else, that's fine, but we gotta talk him into playing under the tag for next year.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry threw out a big bucket of money either, though. I mean, I think the tag's more likely, but I also know that Jerry really seems to like George as well. There's something he really likes him, and the good news for us is every time George scores, he tends to get a penalty, so that's making people angry too.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone when they get mad about the boneheaded, no, let him do the boneheaded stuff, okay? Because yes, it's a pain in the butt, and we have to put up with it because it's discipline, but it makes people not want him. They don't want to deal with the boneheaded stuff because it's at the wrong time. You have boneheaded stuff tends to happen at the worst time.
That's why he fell to the second round, stuff like that. The talent's there. He had top 10 talent, but it's the boneheaded plays that you just can't get out of his system.
Well, he ain't going. He'll be here next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Javonte is my concern too.
I'm not concerned about Javonte, honestly.
You think they're gonna keep him?
Yeah. Let me say this about Pickens before we move on.
Okay.
When you look at, let's say he gets a $35 million contract. Let's say that's what he warrants. When you look at the teams who have the cap space to really do that, it's only the Titans, the Jets, and the Dolphins when they cut Tyreek Hill. The Dolphins are nice in terms of location, but in terms of the actual team, they're dumpster fires.
Yeah, he said he wants to win too.
Yeah.
That was his thing. He said, I want to win.
So let's say he goes to let's say the Jets offer him $36 million. For one, with state taxes in New York, 36 is like 27. So he's already gonna make less than the franchise tag here. And then he's a Georgia boy. He went from Georgia. He went to cold Pittsburgh. He didn't like it. You can find interviews. He didn't like the cold. That was one of his biggest problems being there. Um, he wants to stay in a warm weather city, so that leaves another opening for Dallas. We got no state income tax. We got warm weather. Um,
And
I mean,
apparently his new best friend.
I was just about to say, yeah, they're getting in trouble together, but that's his buddy.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
I think and without him, you can't double them. They're both on the field, right? So
yeah.
they literally have success because of the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we saw success with George when CD went down, but here's the thing: they're having even more success with both of them healthy. Look what they both just did. I mean, the histories. I really do think that if George means what he says and it's not about money, he wants to win. If he sees this team really starting to come together, I think George will want to be here for 26 too.
Yeah. I really think best case scenario, he does the franchise tag for 26. I don't see a contract coming that he would accept, but 28 million for 1 year when he's coming off a contract that paid him probably 18 for 4.
Yeah.
If he likes it here, I think he'll do it. I see we got Charlie joining us in the comments saying a lot of good teams with a lot of cap space. I would disagree with that, but again, I think we have a shot. It's not 100%, but it's not a lot of teams that are good who have the cap space unless they make some wholesale changes. Jeff said, Micah said it wasn't about the money either. That's a good point.
It is a good point. I don't think he's even said it wasn't, but he just wants to win. He didn't even bring up money. And they asked him, do you want? Can you see yourself here? He goes, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry does something to those players. Micah cut his own throat. Micah did everything against what Jerry did. Jerry's an old-fashioned dude, and he embarrassed Jerry, so there was no luck there. You know what I mean? I think it's I don't think it's the same situation with these two players. I think it's totally like stellar opposites. So
yeah. I see Charlie starting to put teams in the comments with a lot of cap space, but
Puka,
all those teams already have 2 really good receivers as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Pats, that may be an option, but Chargers and Rams, no, I don't see that one at all. The Chargers got to get some offensive linemen and some corners, and the Rams, I mean, their Puka contract's coming soon.
Yeah, Puka's got to get paid.
Yeah, I think this is year 3 for him, so that's the contract they're going to be working on this offseason. All right, so we just talked about him quite a bit. Let's go ahead and go to our player of the game. You guys know who it is, absolutely.
George Pickens.
George Pickens, 9 catches, 144 receiving yards, receiving touchdown. He was basically just all over the field this game. So he was just tormenting the outside corner. Slant routes, great twitch, run after catch. I mean, like this play, find the window, sit down, get upfield. It's just all really good plays. Once you take a big hit, all of these are big possession plays. 2nd and 10, cut upfield, put his head down, get the first. So it's not a lot of fluff and filler catches. These are all like big plays.
Big plays.
2nd and 10, you get it to 3rd and short, get the first down. Then you get the big plays like this, make a move, get downfield, cut inside for the touchdown. I mean, he did it all this week. Then you see the boneheaded penalty right there. But yeah, he's a special player. I know myself and Professor O in our chat, we were talking about him for about 3 years, about how much we wish the Cowboys would find a way to get him. And there was nobody happier than Professor O, Matt Owen, when the Cowboys made that trade for him, because this is the stuff he's done his entire career. Just big, quick twitch, athletic, great hands, does it all. Jeff saying give GP what he wants. We can't lose this offense. I mean, the Cowboys could find a way to pay him $35 million.
Yeah, they can, especially because if you look at the people that, I mean, Diggs, bye. I mean, who else can you can restructure
Steele.
Dak again, restructure CD, cut Steele.
You can, yeah.
It's there if they want to do it. I mean, if they want to sign GP, they can.
Yeah.
And I've heard rumors. I don't know how true it is, but I have heard it's from a decent source that somebody with a very large contract doesn't want this offense to go away either, and is willing to renegotiate his contract and take a pay cut. Yeah. I can't. I'm just saying, rumors are rumors, but Dak does want CD here. Wants both of them here. It's making his game better. So we'll see.
So Jeff, he's second in the NFL in receiving yards right now.
Yeah.
If he finishes the season that way, somebody's going to be willing to give him 32 to 36, even if it's just 1 year. I talked about this in another chat, and we'll move on to the Eagles game because we got a lot to talk about there. If we were to do just scorched earth all in 2 years, we can give Pickens whatever he wants. You cut or trade Steele, that clears up about $11 million. You cut or trade Diggs, I think that opens up about 16 to 19. Let's see who else. We just signed Bland. You know the way the Cowboys structure contracts, there's a built-in restructure in year 2.
I think it's a $10 million restructure.
I would have to look, but yeah, there's some money, at least 10, because that's how Dallas structures their contracts. So you got Bland, you restructure him. Who else? You got Ferguson, you restructure him. You got Osa, you restructure him. So now
Turpin.
Well, Turpin's kind of small.
His is really small.
You could if you wanted to, but between those 3 guys, if you restructure them, that probably opens up another 35 to 40 million. So now, by cutting cut/trade 2 players, restructure 3, you probably cleared up $55-60 million.
And that wasn't even touching Dak's contract.
And that's not touching Dak's contract, right?
Yeah.
And didn't we sign Tyler Smith too?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can restructure him too.
We could restructure him. So we got the money to do all these restructures, get him signed, and still probably have about $12 to $14 million left for free agency.
We all know who his agent is. That was like the point of contention. It's David. But I just don't know. It's going to depend a lot. I really think the tag will be the first step.
Absolutely.
And then a first-round tender on Aubrey until we can get that deal done, because people, worry because Aubrey's a free agent too. But I keep reminding people he's an RFA. It is not as pressing as someone like a Pickens. It's just not so.
Right. And the last thing, and we'll move on. And Charlie keeps hitting it. I agree. It's 35. I would say 32 on the low end if we're lucky to 36. But that's the number to me. People forget, even if that's his contract, the first 2 years, that cap hit is going to be low.
7.
The first year probably about 7. Second year probably about 12. So even with all these restructures, he's still not going to blow the cap until year 3. So basically, you sign him, you let Dak know we're all in for 2 years. You have a 2-year window. At year 3, if we got to find some money, you're probably first on the list. So you better make these years count. But it can definitely be done. We're fortunate enough where all of the positions of need are already covered.
Yeah. And
we've got 2 young corners.
Picks.
The only positions we will have to backfill are safety, possibly pass rusher, and running back. And all of those, I think, could be done in the draft or super cheap in free agency. And I'll say this about your comment about Javonte Williams. If you look at free agency this year, Rico's going to be a free agent again. Breece Hall's going to be a free agent. Brian Robinson's going to be a free agent. Algier for the Falcons is going to be a free agent. Kenneth Walker is going to be a free agent. James Conner's going to be a free agent. Aaron Jones, I think, is going to be a free agent. I just named you 7 bell cow running backs who are all going to be free agents. I would love to keep Javonte Williams. If he's at the top of that market, which I doubt, we got 6 more options to choose from who are just as talented. But I think with Kenneth Walker, Brees Hall, Brian Robinson, Aaron Jones, I think those 4 guys are going to be the top 4 in the market. So even if Javonte keeps playing like he's playing, he's at best the 5th running back in free agency.
Derrick Henry's going to be a free agent too.
Really?
So he signed a 2-year contract. Oh, wait, it was an extension. Wait, so hold on.
Okay.
It ties him through the team through 2027. Sorry, I just saw a 2-year. I didn't see that it was extended this year. So he's through 2027. Sorry.
Yeah. And then the running back from the Lions, I think, is going to be a free agent. And I think
Montgomery.
Yeah. And I think DeAndre Swift, too, for the Bears. And Pacheco. Pacheco's going to be a free agent. So I just named you like 11 starting running backs. I don't think Williams is going to be at the top of the market. I think he's going to be 5 or 6, which will probably get you $4 to $7 million a year. If he wants to find some more money out there, I'll take Algier. I'll take Brian Robinson. I'll take DeAndre Swift. I'll take a lot of guys I'll take Rico back. It's a lot of guys that's going to be out there. So
I wonder if he likes it here too, because he seems also happy to have his career revitalized. I mean, some of these players might not want to go nowhere.
If there's anybody on the team that I think likes it here and wouldn't want to leave, I think it's Williams, because they took a chance on him when nobody else would. And I think that loyalty means a lot. And plus, he's going to get paid well. He won't get $10 million a year, but he'll probably get 4 to 7.
And I have to say, I think we have an upper hand that people aren't thinking. I think Shoddy is actually an upper hand. I never thought I'd say that coming into the season, but Brian Schottenheimer seems to really have these players playing for him. It is pretty impressive to see the connection he's built with them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Clowney's coming back.
I do too.
Clowney's been on 6 teams in 10 years. I don't think people realize that. This is his last stop. Nobody at 32 wants to make a 7th team in 11 years. He's only getting paid $2.5 million. If they pay him the same thing or more and he likes it here, he's not going anywhere. He's from Texas. So, I mean, I think guys like that, you talked about Quincy Williams. We just got to find safeties and possibly a right tackle if we don't have faith in Nathan Thomas. And we got 2 first-round picks to do that. So, yeah, it's going to be a really good offseason.
All right.
Let's go ahead. Let's jump into the Eagles game. This is going to be a big week, big rivalry game. A lot of stuff on the line for both teams. I know the Eagles are sitting at the top of the NFC, but like Amanda brought up earlier in the show, every week's been just almost there. And I think one big loss could burst the bubble.
And no Lane Johnson.
No Lane Johnson this week.
And a terrible time to go up against our new fun stud defensive tackles.
Exactly.
Man.
AJ Brown every week is saying something.
Angry. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's on Twitch. He's making tweets. He's saying stuff in post-game interviews. They just keep winning. And that keeps the Band-Aid on. That next loss could make it all fall apart.
And I don't know how they're winning, like Dallas Goedert, I guess, because let me tell you something. I've got Devontae Smith. I picked him up because AJ was hurt, of course. So I was like, well, I'm just going to grab Devontae. I have Nico and Devontae in fantasy football. And let me tell you something. That man is the most inconsistent. I am so tired of Jalen Hurts. I'm going to sit him this week knowing that my luck, I already know how that's going to work. But they are not having much work. Like, they're terrible down the field.
Yeah.
Jalen's not moving the ball. I think we win too, Charlie, just so you know. I
absolutely.
I said we split. Honestly, I'm still angry we didn't win the opener because we should have. We should have won that game.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like I had a bunch of key matchups here. I feel like I'm missing one. All right, let's go ahead and go into our key matchups for this week's game because we got quite a few to pay attention to.
Let's go.
Key matchups.
First key matchup is the one that we did not get in week 1 that was highly anticipated, but I think we'll definitely get it this week. That is Jalen Carter versus Tyler Booker. For you guys who don't remember, basically right before the first snap of the game, Jalen Carter came into the Cowboys huddle, had a little back and forth with Dak, and then spit at him and got thrown out of the game. So I know he's going to come into this game with a lot of energy and a lot of pent-up aggression because he didn't get a chance to play last time.
Well, he's boneheaded enough. He might spit again.
He might do it again.
There's no telling.
Yeah. And then we got Tyler Booker, who from a PFF standpoint has been one of the better interior rookies that we've seen in quite a while. He's had a couple of bad plays here and there, but for the most part, he's been extremely solid. So I'm definitely going to be paying attention to this matchup early in the game to see how it affects the offense. We got Cron Doe joining us. Looks like a new name. So Cron Doe, thank you for tuning in. Cindy Duran, looks like another new name. Thank you for joining us as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Another matchup, definitely got to pay attention to. We'll stay on the offensive side of the ball. Before the trade deadline, the Eagles made a big trade for Jalen Phillips, defensive end from the Dolphins. The past 2 weeks, he's been making a lot of big plays for them. And this week, he gets Tyler Guyton coming off a hot performance against the Raiders. The Eagles have had a problem generating any type of pass rush outside of Jalen Phillips. So they definitely need him to play his best during this week to give them an opportunity. Let's see. Another big matchup, just going back from last week. George Pickens. The last time the Cowboys played the Eagles, Pickens drew the big pass interference play, but he only had 3 catches for 30 yards. So Pickens has been the hottest receiver in the NFL since that game. So I feel like he's going to have some of that Jalen Carter and him as well, where he's really want to get out there on the field and show what he can do.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't spit on somebody either and get himself thrown out of the game. But this is going to be a really good game at home. Really big game. Let's see.
Albert, yes. Sorry, Albert. We do. We need to win. We talked about it. If you want to go back at the end of the show, Marcus and I kind of broke it down at the beginning of the show of what we need to do in order to win. But it's very possible. And Marcus thinks that our biggest bet is going to be on Green Bay really struggling, and we end up at 10-6-1, I think is what you said, right?
10-6-1, yeah.
10-6-1, both of us, and that would almost guarantee we're in the playoffs and Green Bay would stay at home. So we have a shot. It's a long shot, but we're not out.
Shot, yeah. I think the Packers are the only team that gets us in. The loss against the Bears killed us. The loss against the Panthers killed us. That kind of eliminates Seattle. And who else is in the wild card right now?
The Bears, right?
The Lions. The Bears are
are they the division leader?
They're the division leader right now. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, right now the wild card spots are the Seahawks, the Packers, and the Lions.
Okay.
I think the Seahawks only have like 4 losses, so that one's going to be kind of a tough hill to climb.
Yeah. Jackson Smith. Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba has just turned into like a Sam Darnold. Well, he's becoming a pumpkin, but JSN's playing really good football.
Yeah. The Lions give us a slight window, but that tie kind of hurts us with everybody except the Packers. And luckily that tie came against the Packers. So we really just have to get the other tiebreakers against them. All right, let's keep going through with these key matchups. We'll go to the defensive side of the ball now because we got quite a few there. Siobhan Revel gets Devontae Smith in this week's game. So Devontae Smith has become their best receiver so far. So this is definitely going to be a good matchup for him. The way the Cowboys run their defense and the Eagles run their offense, the Eagles don't move their receivers much. We don't move our corners. So I think Devontae and Siobhan are going to see quite a bit of each other in this week's game. This one, actually, A.J. Brown will probably be the better matchup for him because he's a big physical corner and Brown's a big physical receiver. So it's going to be interesting how the speedy, shifty Devontae Smith, how he handles that on that knee. He's really going to get a good knee workout this week. But Revel in 1 week has shown me quite a bit. Albert Payton says the Cowboys look like a totally different team Monday night. What do you think changes between them and when they are losing? I mean, we just talked about it earlier in the show. Defensive line.
Put value. Games are won in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Both sides, yeah.
And we finally put some value there. So a quick breakdown of what we said was because of how good our interior is on the defensive line, that's made everyone in the back in the secondary better because they're not as pressured to have to cover so much area because there's no one getting through the defensive line. So it's completely new look. And it should be even better now that they have a week of game time together. So,
yeah, like you said, that was Overshown's first game back in a year. That was Siobhan Revel's first NFL game, his first game back in a year. Logan Wilson hasn't been starting for the past 3 to 4 weeks. His first game as a Cowboy. Even though Quentin Williams had quite an explosive debut, that was his first game back as a Cowboy. So, I mean, these guys get an extended. Well, they get a they have a short turnaround, but it's their second game back, so they're only going to get more comfortable back at home for a big game against a division rival. All right, I got a couple of more key matchups. Then we'll keep the show moving forward. This is going to be a big one. Clowney versus Fred Johnson.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Backup right tackle. As you guys know, Amanda brought it up earlier in the show. Lane Johnson's going to miss this game. So his backup is a journeyman tackle named Fred Johnson. Clowney's going to be probably lined up in front of him quite a bit. I think Ezra Rock will get some run against him as well because nobody wants to see Mailata. So I think Fred Johnson's gonna, if they get in third and long situations, I think they're really gonna try to take advantage of that where they isolate him and see if he can hold up. But I think Clowney gets first cracks at him. All right, got 2 more key matchups, and then we'll go to our X factors and over unders. So if you guys are joining us, thank you for joining. Make sure you hit that like button. This is an interactive show. We're fueled by Fifth Quarter Nation. So if you guys haven't done so already, get in those comments. Let us know your thoughts about this week's game. Let us know how long you've been a Cowboy fan. Let us know what you think about the rest of the season moving forward. All right, last 2 key matchups. This is one that they've been kind of hyping up for the past year and a half. Cooper DeJean versus CeeDee Lamb. I believe last year Lamb may have been hurt for one of those games, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Were Dak and Lamb out of one game together?
Let's see. When did we play them that second time? Hold on.
I mean, they were both blowouts.
Yeah. I want to say. Let me look.
But yeah, it's gonna be a good matchup. They've been trying. They had the last time we played them, they had to put DeJean on the outside because they didn't have any other corners. But now they've traded for
And yes,
what's that?
and yes, it was the 29th of December, that second game. So yes, because Dak was not there.
Right.
Score was 41-7.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, when we played them week 1, DeJean had to play a lot more outside, but they just traded for, I can't remember the name of the receiver, to be honest. I mean, the DB. Michael Carter. Thank you, Jeff. They traded for Michael Carter, so they were able to put DeJean back inside the last 3 to 4 games. So he gets lined up against CD. I think there's going to be a really, really good matchup. CD had a good game the last time we played them. I think he had 117 yards and a touchdown. And if you guys pay attention on Twitter, there was a little bit of chatter of he only did that because DeJean was playing outside. So I think we're going to see a lot more of this matchup in this week's game. Jeff Pop says DeJean looks like he just graduated. Well, this is only his second year. So technically, you're right. Jeff asked the question, does Overshown blitz any this game? I would say no. Overshown's probably going to be a spy. The last time we played the Eagles when we were healthy and Overshown was there, Overshown was the spy, and I think he had like 4 tackles for loss against Hurts. So I think we probably see more of the same this week. I don't think we have to blitz with the way our front four is playing. So I think it's going to maybe look like a blitz, but it's going to be Jalen Hurts gets rattled early. He has to leave the pocket, and then Overshown just closes quickly on it. But I don't see designed blitz being called with Overshown.
I hope he gets him one, though. I think that'll build his confidence up if we can get him at least a big TFL.
Yeah. So great question, Jeff. Leads me into my last key matchup. Like I just said, the last time we played the Eagles when we were healthy and we had Overshown was a spy, and he limited Jalen Hurts rushing. Since then, Jalen Hurts has averaged about 40 yards rushing per game against us, including the last time we played them, where he had 60-plus yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns. So I think that should change this week, and Overshown should be a major factor in that. Jeff saying I would run some 5-man fronts. We have been running 5-man fronts the past 2 weeks, even going back to that Cardinals game before we made the Quinnen Williams trade. All right, these are all the key matchups I got. Amanda, any other matchups that kind of stand out to you that I didn't cover before we move on?
Not that no. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. No, not really.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of them.
There's a lot, but I think you hit all of them. So
I don't know how we cover Goddard. I think that may be the only other matchup I would think about. I don't know if we use safeties. I don't know if we use Bland.
I'd put Bland on him.
Like kind of like
the way he played this last time.
Yeah, like he did with Bowers.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could go Bland. We could use the linebackers in zone. They could play Marquise Bell like they did last week to kind of help use his size against Bowers. But yeah, I didn't know who the matchup would be, so I didn't put that one in there. Jack Meeker says, I hope they try to run on this front. With Jalen Carter playing, I don't know how the run game is going to look. So I don't know about that one.
I think he's meaning Saquon, maybe. How hope to see Saquon run against us. I'm excited to see that too, to be honest. We're not doing over-unders. We'll get there because I have a bold over-under on that with Saquon. So, and it all comes from Micah bragging they held him to 60 yards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because he's only had more than 60 yards once this year, right, against the Giants.
Right.
All right, let's go ahead and hit these X factors up, and then we'll go to our over-unders and close the show out. We're at an hour. So, guys, once again, any questions, any comments, feel free to hit us up. Let us know your thoughts. So, X factors, I only have 3. We just talked about this one briefly. Dallas Goedert. I don't know what's going on with this offense, but I don't know if Hurts is afraid to throw on the boundaries or he's lost faith in his receivers or what, but he's not throwing to his receivers. He is relying heavily on Dallas Goedert.
Right. You take Goddard out of the game and they're out of it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
If we can lock down Dallas Goddard, then that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. When we played them week 1, outside of Goddard, the only passing play they had was that big one to Jahan Dotson. And I don't think that was happening again this week. So yeah, definitely got to take Goddard out of the game and see what else they can do. Other X factor, we just talked about this one briefly. That's over under. Where Saquon Barkley, and you brought this up, Amanda, hasn't had 60 yards more than once this year. Surprisingly, even when he plays well all season, the Cowboys still have shut him down every time we played him.
I think that's because we're so familiar with him from when he was with the Giants. I know that sounds ridiculous, but seriously, I'm not. I know this sounds terrible, but I've told everyone that Saquon Barkley is seriously one hit away from an issue because of his history. And that's the Eagles. Really, they have Saquon Barkley and Dallas Goedert.
Yep.
That's it. So if we can lock them both down, it's fine. I'm not. Last year I was more worried about Saquon, and we still handled him. So
right.
I'm just not worried about. I don't think he's going to be a big issue.
Yeah. So a big part of his success will be dictated by my last X factor, and that is our linebackers. I've said this 3 times already. Overshown, spying, and using his athleticism to run down Jalen Hurts is going to be instrumental in this week's game. Week 1, Sanborn didn't have a chance. Kenneth Murray was too lost to make any plays, and our defensive ends didn't do him any favors. So this week, we got much improved defensive end play with Ezaraku coming into his own and Clowney being a veteran who understands how to play against quarterbacks like this. And we have 2 linebackers who can make plays in the open field, along with Shamar James and Leofau when given direction. Because, again, I think those guys have the talent along with Kenneth Murray. They just need somebody on the field who can put them in position. And I think both of these guys are capable of doing that. So I think we're going to need Overshown below the shoulders, and we're going to need Logan Wilson above the shoulders to kind of help keep this thing going. But I think Logan he's going to have a big impact in the passing game as well because he's really good with carrying tight ends. He showed that last week. And I saw a bunch of people this week talking about how he got burnt on that play. If you go back and watch, the play in the end zone, if you go back and watch the play, the reason the ball was thrown so bad is because Wilson was in place.
Right.
The quarterback was supposed to throw the ball over the middle, but Wilson was in such good position, he had to try to do like a back shoulder type deal, and the wide receiver couldn't adjust. That's what you want from your linebacker. And he made the right move. There was nothing except that bad throw that could have been made. And outside of that, every play he was in position. He only played like 23 snaps. I watched all 23. There was not a single pass coverage play where he was out of position. Only three running plays. But again, our defensive line kind of held up and made that happen without needing him. All right, so we'll go to our last segment of the show. We're at 1 hour, 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and get into some over-unders.
Over-under.
So for those of you that are new to the show, over under is a segment where I will give you guys a statistic and you tell me whether or not that player goes over or under that statistic. So we'll start off first. Now, see, we got Eric pregame sweat joining us. Appreciate you tuning in, Eric. First over under. I mentioned it a few minutes ago. The last 3 games we played against Jalen Hurts, he's had over 40 yards rushing and at least 1 rushing touchdown. We've got a lot of big additions since the last time we played them. Over under 40 rushing yards for Jalen Hurts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. While they come in, Amanda, let me know what you think.
Under.
Under?
I think it's just under. And it's simply I would have said over if we hadn't have gathered all these people up and made like the infinity gauntlet of defensive lines. But under.
I agree. Ezra Raku had a really good game the first time we played him, and that was his first game ever. He made a couple of mistakes that I don't think he would make right now. Add to the fact that our linebackers are more athletic and will be able to track them down in the open field. I'm going under also. Eric has over. Jeff Pop has over. Jeff has under. Jack Meeker has under. He might get negative after the sack yardage is calculated. I agree with that too. It's going to be hard to get him down, but I think we can do it because we bring pressure up the middle, and that's where he struggles at. Jeff Dunnigan asked the question, does Osa finally take the step we need him to take with Williams here? I would say it depends on what you would consider the step. It's 7 games left. I would be shocked if he doesn't have 3 sacks over the next 7 games. That'll put him right at 4 sacks, which is pretty much what he's averaged for his career. They got him a big contract. So I don't think he becomes Superman, but I think he at least shows us what he showed us last year. So I don't know if that's what you would consider taking a step. But so far he has been underwhelming. Also on top of that, he's going to be playing less snaps. So we'll see how that affects his psyche. Maybe he'll be more fresh when he comes in and he'll be able to make a bigger impact. I don't know. I'll probably say we'll need at least 2 more weeks to see how this will affect him in particular, because I don't know what the rotation is going to be for the next 2 weeks. They're still kind of playing with things. I think it's pretty evident that Quinnen Williams is going to be an 80% guy, which we haven't had a 70, 80% D tackle playing 70 to 80% of the snaps. Ooh, you probably got to go back 15 years. A D tackle playing more than 70% of the snaps, that's unheard of in Dallas. And I think Quinnen Williams is going to help change that. So we're going to see some stuff we haven't seen before because of his ability and his talent. But yeah, definitely good luck running on that combo. And Ezra Raku's still a good run defender, and Clowney is too. So, I mean, all those guys are good. All right, next over under. The last time we played the Eagles, I just said it, George Pickens had the big pass interference call that he generated that got us down to the 1 yard line for the easy touchdown. Outside of that, only 3 catches for 30 yards. So over under 65 yards receiving for George Pickens in this week's game. Let me know what you guys think. Eric's coming in super negative so far. He said he had over on Hurts, under on Pickens. What do you think, Amanda?
Over. Way over.
So you thinking he hits 100 yards again?
Absolutely.
Jeff says payback time. I'm kind of a mixed bag on this one. I'm leaning over because the last time we played the Eagles, they were using him kind of like just a deep threat guy. And over the past 3 weeks, you've seen him running more intermediate routes and getting open quick. I
Yeah.
think they're going to keep that up, and I don't think Quinyon Mitchell's good enough or strong enough to stop Pickens from getting to his spot. So I'm leaning over on that one too, but I think it's because he probably has about 5 or 6 catches. I'm not doing a push, Jeff. We don't do pushes on the 5th quarter. Oh, Eric says he thinks Fergie and CD eat. I could agree with that also.
I mean, I just think that there's something with George and Dak lately that I've noticed. There's a connection that has really blossomed there, and you can see Dak is trusting the absolute crap out of George Pickens. And I mean, he's even making throws that he knows ain't going to go nowhere simply for the flag.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's going to be way over. It wouldn't shock me if CD was under, just because I think George is ready for payback.
Okay, so you along the lines of Jeff then with the payback. Okay, so normally we have 2 either ors. This week normally you only have 1 either or. This week we're gonna have 2 either ors. So the first either or, this kind of leads into George Pickens. Which wide receiver tandem has more receiving yards?
Huh.
It's a lot of talent on the screen. So far, the Eagles haven't lived up to the hype. But
I'm sorry, this isn't even a question, is it? We would have to go into an alternate reality for it to be for it to be Brown and Smith.
So you don't think Brown can take advantage of the 2 rookies in Carson and
Absolutely
Revel?
not. I'm sorry. Absolutely not. Because there's just something special. I mean, look, CeeDee Lamb's putting up how many yards he have last game after puking at 7:30 in the morning on the strip and at a casino?
He had 60, I think.
See? And George had 101. It's fine. That's more than like Smith and Brown have had in 3 games.
Yeah. That's true. Eric asked the question, is the Eagles quarterback still a running back? I would say the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, their whole scheme is based off of get the 3rd and short. That's it. No matter what it takes, get the 3rd and short.
Right, so we can push.
Yep.
Which is not a football play. I'm sorry. Just can't stand that play.
I would love to see our corners get a little bit closer to the receivers this week.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that'd be nice because we do play off so often.
Yeah.
Play soft.
Because if we do that, if they're smart, that this will be an A.J. Brown game because he's a big physical receiver. He can catch those hitches. Like the hitches they started throwing in the second half against the Raiders, if you give those to Brown, he's going to make something happen with them. That's my only concern. Because after the second half, the Raiders were just doing nothing but hitches and screens. And luckily for us, they don't have those big receivers who can break a tackle or make somebody miss an open field. A.J. Brown could do that if there's a chance. But yeah, it is a scrum. Somebody, I think it was maybe Jeff Dunnigan that said, I'm looking forward. No, it was Mendoza. He's looking forward to seeing the tush push versus Clark and Williams on the inside.
I mean, it will be interesting to watch.
Yeah. I think this may be the week where we start seeing those flags come out. Big game in Dallas. They called 1 or 2 last week. I think second half of the season, they're going to start making an emphasis on throwing those flags more. I think this will be the week that we really see it. And I'm sure the Eagles fans will hate it. Jeff says AJ done checked out. I agree. If they lose this week, it was 1 year. I think they started off like 8-4 and lost the last 5. If they lose this week, I could see that happening again because they've been holding on by a thread when it comes to keeping everything together. Eric said, AJ said, bench him in fantasy. That's just ridiculous. That's a real quote. That's not him joking.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah. So yeah, they're right there on the edge of falling apart. I don't think we could do enough to catch them, but it would be great to see them lose quite a few games at the end of the year.
Wouldn't it though?
All right, so we got our last over-under of the night, and this one is going back to the running game. Which running back has more rushing yards? Saquon Barkley, who we just talked about, the Cowboys have held him in check the past 2 years, versus Javonte Williams with Jalen Carter returning this week's game. Have you noticed that most of Javonte Williams' stats come on the last drive before halftime? Have you noticed that, like the past month?
Yes.
It seems like every game on that last drive, he breaks off a 20 to 40-yard run, and that makes up the majority of his stats. Let's see. Jack Mika says Javonte. Eric says Javonte. Jeff says Barkley, but only slightly. Where are you at on this, Amanda? Javonte or Barkley?
Javonte.
Okay.
Javonte has impressed me so much. And let's see how many. I'm trying to remember where he's at. He's got the highest yards after the not after the catch. He's got the highest rush yards per attempt, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. He's really settled down, and I think he really wants to get that recognition again. Like he's just got the passion, and I think he's going to top Barkley. I think we shut Barkley down. So.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fifth in the NFL in rushing.
Barkley's nowhere in even the top 10, is he?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
didn't think
13, number 14.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
And that's without missing any games. J.K. Dobbins is ahead of him.
Wow.
Let's see. Who else is Brees Hall has missed a couple games. He's in front of him. Yeah. Javonte's number 4. 1, 2, 3. Number 5 behind Rico.
Yeah. Well, Rico's had a couple 200-yard games. He's played very well.
Uh-huh.
So
let me ask you this question before we go then. I think I know the answer, but I'm still going to ask. Free agency, Javonte and Rico are both there. Which one would you take?
Whichever's cheaper.
So it's a coin flip for you. I can't argue with that.
Cheaper. I mean, they both honestly are very similar players.
Yeah.
I'd take either.
I can't argue with that.
I think Rico's still angry that we let him go. You know what I mean? But he wouldn't have got that contract if it wasn't for Dallas, taking a risk. They took a flyer and let him, run out there as the one.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't have gotten paid if it wasn't for Dallas. So.
Since I'm looking at just a free agency question, since I'm looking at the list, I don't know if the answer is going to be whoever's cheaper for any of them, but DeAndre Swift or Williams?
Williams.
Okay. Tyler Algier or Williams?
I like Algier, but I think Williams is the better back.
Okay. Kenneth Walker or Williams?
I don't like he's really taking a downturn. I know that from fantasy football. I'm so agitated with him. Honestly, I'm surprised Charbonnet doesn't have the starting role.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, just curious about those. If he were healthy, I was going to ask about J.K. Dobbins, but I think that ship is sailed now. I forgot about Najee Harris going to be a free agent too. So it's a lot of running backs that's going to be available this offseason. Yeah. But yeah. All right. So that's pretty much all we got. Hour 20 minutes. Got a big game this Sunday, 3 p.m. Cowboys versus the Eagles. As you can see, a lot of storylines, a lot of great matchups, a lot on the line for the Cowboys. I think this game is really going to be uh, a major impact on the rest of the season because I really feel like if we win this game, it could take us to another level and it can drop the Eagles. So a lot on the line. We just got to make it happen.
We need to get out of this game with no injuries.
Yeah.
Lots of really tough games. This is that tough part of the schedule. You know, it would be true Dallas Cowboy fashion for us to talk about the tough part of the schedule all off season. You know, once we got the schedule, you and I talked about it leading up to, week 1. It would be about right for them to completely flip it on its head and just go where we thought they were going to lose most of the games, go to winning them all.
Yeah.
That'd be in true Dallas Cowboy fashion. So.
Yep. That'll be something.
We'll see.
I'm going down the rabbit hole looking at running back contracts now. Because I see Tony Pollard's due $9 million next year. I don't think he's getting $9 million from the Titans.
No, they need too many people. They need too much.
Yeah, he's not.
I'll take him as the 2. He can be the Lightning.
I think we'll probably see Phil Maffa soon.
Where is Maffa?
I mean, I think they had to hide him on
I know they did to avoid, him going to waivers or anything, but I'm just hadn't even talked about him. We haven't heard from him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they had to hide him when Miles Sanders was here. But we had a lot of positions we had to work out leading up to the trade. And Malik Davis was right there on the practice squad. We can keep bringing him up for 3 weeks, but now we've used all those up. So this week, we don't have a backup running back on the roster. We either have to activate Blue, we have to activate Maffa, or we have to sign Malik Davis to the 53-man roster. So something's got to give this week. I don't think they're going to rely on Blue.
We cut Clark.
Yeah. Well, Clark opens up the spot for the defensive end.
Okay, but I hate to say it, but we did have an open spot on the roster too. So
we did?
Yeah. Marshawn.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Technically you could sign Davis because Davis looked good.
Yeah.
I'd be hard pressed to say that you could take that away from him.
Yeah.
I know no one wants to hear that, but we do have an open spot.
Yeah.
So they could, maybe they're signing Davis to the active roster.
It's either sign Davis or activate Blue from IR. But that would be strange to go from not even a 21-day window. Because today's Wednesday, right?
Right.
So, yeah. They almost have to sign Davis.
Right. Is Blue on IR? I thought he was inactive.
No, Blue is just inactive.
Yeah, I thought so. You said Blue. I was like, wait, what? You mean Maffa? Yeah, I don't know. They haven't even activated him, nothing. No one's mentioned his name. He's like the mysterious guy that no one knows where he went.
I think it's coming soon, though. Unless Davis just continues to ball out, and they may just keep him shut down for the year. I would hate to see it. I would love to see him behind the offensive line from the glimpses he gave us in preseason.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, that's pretty much all we got for this week's show. Views are pretty steady, so thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you guys will join us next week for what we expect to be a Victory Wednesday.
Yes.
8:30 Central Standard Time for the Fifth Quarter Podcast. I may do a pregame show Thursday morning before the game as well. So be on the lookout for that.
Let's do a giveaway next Wednesday for the Thanksgiving show.
Okay.
I will come up with something autographed. So everybody be here Wednesday. I'm going to pop in because it's a Thanksgiving. I always do typically for Thanksgiving. Come and bug Marcus. So I'll give something away. We'll have a good time.
All right. So be sure to join us next Wednesday, 8:30 Central Standard Time. Amanda will be back with the giveaway. Have another good show. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating the Victory Wednesday and doing a recap for the game the following day. Dallas Cowboys hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Should be a lot to look forward to this week. Pay close attention to all these teams because we're still in the thick of things. Root hard against the Packers. I know a lot of fans are rooting against them because of the Micah thing, but now we've got a reason to, because if we win, they're our only outlet into making the playoffs. So definitely a lot on the line in week 12 and beyond.
And we want a good draft pick.
Yeah.
Come on, we want them to fall off the wagon.
That would be amazing if we made the playoffs and we had a better draft pick from them. Like if we picked, let's say, 16 and 17, because the Packers just spiraled at the end of the year.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something.
We'll see.
That would guarantee us 2 day one starters.
Yep.
All right, so that's pretty much all we have for this week's show. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate all the questions. Appreciate all the comments. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope to see you guys back next week. And as always, let's go Cowboys. We'll see you guys on Wednesday.
Bye, y'all.